Masterpiss here, and in this video I'm going to go through the Obliteration spec. So this is a spec that runs around Runic Attunement. You mainly want to use this spec for single target, opposed from the Frostbite spec, which is used for AoE. So first of all, here are your talents. So in your 56 talent tree, you want to be running Icy Talons. The reason you choose this is because this one's going to keep your auto attacks higher. The more auto attacks you're doing, the more killing machines you're going to get off. In your 57 tree, now 57 you do have options. In 57 highest DPS is Frozen Pulse, without a doubt. If you struggle to keep the Frozen Pulse up, so Frozen Pulse when you've got, so it's one full rune and one rune that's charging up, so it does give you 2 runes. Your auto attacks will be doing a pulsifying damage. Now line that up with Icy Talons, works really nicely. If you have a hard time keeping this up, and if it's just your uptime on it's really low and you really struggle, which is fair enough, use Freezing Fog. Freezing Fog will just give you an all-round damage buff, really low maintenance, really easy to do. You don't have to do anything. So Frozen Pulse, if you can keep it up, 100% more damage. Freezing Fog if you struggle. In the 58 tree, you do have options again. Now, general consensus is Avalanche for raids and Ice Cap for Mythic Pluses. Now, the reason you use Ice Cap in Mythic Pluses is because it lines up really nicely with Winter is Coming. Now, reducing the cooldown of this with your Obliterates and your Frost Strikes just means that you can stun more. The more you can stun, the better. In saying that, if your group comp has a high stunning group, so you've got a shaman, you've got a warrior tank, and you've got a demon hunter. That's 3 stuns already. So that's going to put the diminishing returns on stun to immunity already. So you can run Avalanche to get more damage out. That's fine. But again, if your group comp doesn't have 3 capable stuns, take Ice Cap because it'll give you more stuns per mob. 60, there's no real choice here. You want to use Winter is Coming. It's in raids, it doesn't do much because bosses, there's nothing you can stun. But in Mythic Pluses, it's all the trash you can stun. In PvP, it's everything you can stun. So Winter is Coming is the choice there. In 75, there's kind of a choice. White Walker just gives you another DR, another damage reduction, so this is good, 20% when you use Wraith Walk. Volatile Shielding is also an okay choice because it just gives you a more absorb on your AMS, but generally it's pretty high at the moment, and AMS in raids is really only to avoid damage that could kill you. So if you're in a Rot or Ethendril's got the poison that drops down, you can pretty much stack it all on top of each other. Now this spec really does run off Runic Attunement, so your auto attacks give you 1 more runic power. Icy Talons again works really nice. So Runic Attunement all day. In the 100 tech, you do get choices again. Obliteration if it's a pure single target fight. Glacial Advance on fights like Ursoc and and Ethendril either gives you a bit more cleave, but again, Obliteration or Glacial Advance, it's a negligible difference, so you can choose this one depending on which playstyle. Personally, I prefer Glacial Advance just because I like the playstyle and it's a pretty cool move, but again, it's choice. The next thing you want to look at is stat priorities. Now, stat priorities is something that you should really sim yourself just to see where your stats are sitting and what's going to get you the most DPS per piece of gear. But a general kind of idea is you want to first get your haste to 20%. After that, it's a crit cap of 30%. After crit, it's haste till about 25. After you get your haste to 25, then versatility and mastery become about equal. But crit, after 30% crit, you don't want any more crit. Like, your crit is done. You're finished. Get your other stats. Easy. Pretty easy. Next is your opener. Now, your opener is absolutely crucial. The better you can get your opener off, the higher your burst DPS at the start will be, and it sets your rotation up for the entire encounter. So the first thing you want to do is on the pull timer, get your pre-pot going. Once you've got your pre-pot going and the pull timer's hit 0, you want to start off with a Howling Blast, then a Glacial Advance, a Remorseless Winter, and then you've got just enough runic power for a Frost Strike. Now, if you happen to get a Killing Machine before that Frost Scythe, use the Killing Machine. Then if you get a Rime Proc, use the Rime Proc. When you've got nothing, then use the Frost Strike. And then onto your general rotation. Another one for a big one on your opener is your Sindragosa's Fury. Now, Sindragosa's Fury will depend on which encounter you're doing. So if it's like Heroic Ursoc, where you want to get as much burst off at the start as possible, you will be using your Sindragosa's Fury when you've got everything up. So when you've got Pillar of Frost up, you've got Unholy Strength up, you've got any other kind of procs and trinkets you've got going, that'll get your Sindragosa's Fury at the maximum. But if you are doing Mystic Ursoc, where there's an ad, you want to save that Sindragosa's Fury for your second Pillar of Frost and your second procs. That's when you use your Sindragosa's Fury on 2 targets. So Sindragosa's Fury will really depend on which encounter you're doing. Understand? Okay, so the rotation for the Frost Death Knight it's more of a priority list rather than a rotation. Because a lot of our moves are RNG based, it's what to do when something else is up. So basically our rotation starts off on Icy Talons. You want a Frost Strike to keep Icy Talons up. So really you want to try and keep 25 runic power in the bank just to keep that Icy Talons going at all times. You can cheat a little bit if you're a Blood Elf with Arcane Torrent, because Arcane Torrent is basically a free Frost Strike. So if you get into a situation where you've got not enough runic power to Frost Strike, you can Arcane Torrent, you've got a free Frost Strike. Easy. The next thing you want to do is Howling Blast with Rime Procs. Now this will keep your Frost Fever up basically 100% of the time. You're going to have so many Rime Procs that keeping Frost Fever up is not an issue. It'll be up all the time. After that is Obliterate with a Killing Machine proc. Now in this same aspect, you want to use Obliteration if you're running it. Obliteration when you've got 2 runes and 25 runic power. That's when it's ideal time for Obliteration. So Killing Machine under Rime Procs. So if you've got a Rime Proc and you've got a Killing Machine, use Rime and then Killing Machine. Even if you've got full runes, use the Rime Proc first, because chances are you're going to get another one. Now depending on which legendary you've got, if you're like me and you've got the legendary Helm, which gives Howling Blast 40% more damage when Remorseless Winter's up, try and line your Rime Procs up with a Remorseless Winter, just because it gives it more damage. After your Killing Machine, you want to be using Frost Strike, so the Frost Strike will give you more runes, so you can use more Obliterates. After that is Remorseless Winter. Now depending how many runes you have, if you've got 1 rune, you want to use it on a Glacial Advance. If you've got 2 runes or more, you want to be using it on Obliterate, whether you've got a Killing Machine or not. You want to keep your runes again under 1 full rune, so you constantly getting your Frozen Pulse damage. So I'll do a quick rotation here just to show you how it goes. So pull timer. 4, 3, 2, pre-pop, Howling Blast, Remorseless Winter. Now ding. Now I've got a proc, so I use that. Again, got proc, so now I can get my Talons up to 3. Rime Proc, Rime. Keep my things up. 3 runes, 2 runes, so Glacial Advance, keeping everything up. Now everything's up, so I'm going to use Sindragosa's Fury. Easy. And you just keep it up like that. Now that was a 600k burst, I think, sitting at 500 at the moment. And since I'm in trouble, I'll use Dancing Rune Weapon, so I've got all my runes back, keep going again. And you want to keep your Icy Talons up 100% of the time. If you drop it for whatever reason, it's gonna give you DPS. Now on a single target like this, and a non-moving boss target, it's pretty simple. I'm going to just show you, oh no, I've run out of runes and I've gotten unlucky. Arcane Torrent, I'm back. And you just keep going like that. Remember, you see the shinies, you hit it. As Mr. Hayes says, see the shinies, hit it. And that was a minute, so, you know, you just keep going like that. It's a pretty simple rotation, well, priority list. Okay, so now I'll do a rotation with Obliteration. Now the only real difference will be is not using Glacial Advance. So let's just do a pull timer.
5, 4, 3.
Ready for pre-pot. So pre-pot now. Howling Blast, Obliteration, use Remorseless Winter. Now I've got a proc, so proc, and here we go. There's the Icy Talons at 3. Keeping Rhyme proc up, beautiful. Killing Machine, Frost Strike, Killing Machine. Now I've got 2 runes up, so what I'll do is I'll use Obliteration now. And up, bang. Now you don't want to use your Rhyme procs in this stage because you only get 4 Obliterations, so don't waste them. And we're good. So in like that, easy. Now you notice I didn't use Fury. And you just keep going until you run out of runes. When you run out of runes, or you've got nothing up you want to use, so it'll be now, Empower Rune Weapon. And I'm up. And I dropped my Icy Talons. No good. So my DPS has gone down. But it's okay because I luckily had full runic power. And again, and you just keep going. Just keep going. Hit the shinies when they come up. And again. That's pretty simple. The rotation is pretty much the same. The only difference is using Obliteration opposed from Glacial Advance. Okay, so that's the Runic Attunement Obliteration spec. It's a pretty straightforward spec. If you have any questions, feel free to add my battle tag if you're on a US, or leave some comments in the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel if you found this video useful. And I've also got a stream that will be running raids and any other questions you have to ask, which will also be in the link below. Thanks for watching, guys.